Hello and welcome to my latest weekly video news from Madison's. Well, I brought you a special bulletin on Friday with just my initial reactions to the general election. And I really don't want, the general election is just over a month away. I don't want every single vlog every week to be all about the general election. So I promise I'm going to give you a very quick précis now, just in case you missed Fridays. And I will just bring you news as and when it breaks, which I feel affects the property world in regards to general election. I'm not going to keep doing a chat about it every week with all the latest elements of their manifestos that are being produced. So general election being called 5th of July. It will mean we'll have a good autumn market now, I think, because everyone was thinking it was going to be back into the year. Not surprising that Rishi has called it, with inflation getting near to that target. The polls certainly a bit undecided, actually, I feel, when you delve into the guts of them, despite what happened in the local elections more recently. A good spring market having happened, so stamp duty receipts will be quite strong. And generally, the housing market does really well in a general election year. Things might get a little bit dampened and uncertain as we roll up to the general election. But then the minute it's done, the pent-up demand flows again. And so that autumn market could be quite a good one. So let's wait and see. The only things they'll really talk about predominantly that will affect the property world will be whether there'll be some more stamp duty relief for first-time buyers. This is what I think anyway. Any sort of plans to help developers build new homes, because there is a huge shortage. And the renters reform bill, will be put on the back burner. But one thing that didn't get put on the back burner was the Leasehold and Freehold Reform Act, which got passed through Parliament last Friday, one of the last bits of legislation to get passed. Now, this has been brewing for a long time. It's all about giving leaseholders specifically and freeholders who have some weird quasi-leasehold system, if they're part of a development, for example, more rights and control, basically looking for them to be able to extend their lease for not too much money and have more greater say in what happens, and getting rid of big high ground rents. Now, the former, he said he's going to resign, hasn't he, Michael Gove, as an MP, but the housing secretary wanted to get ground rents down to a nominal rate. He mooted a figure of £250 per annum. It's to do with a complicated thing with a lender, and if you don't pay your ground rent, then a short-hold tenancy clause comes into play, and the lender who might have given a mortgage on a property actually ranks behind the freeholder. So lenders don't like those sort of properties. It's complicated. If you want me to go into more detail at any time, do just call. But looking to get those nominal ground rents down to basically stop that happening. But that didn't become part of it. Simply because it had to get passed really speedily. I think everyone just wanted it to get through. So will give greater control. There have been calls for the estate agency industry to become more regulated as well. That wasn't included either, because I say they just had to race it through. But one of the last bits of legislation to make it through, and a relief actually, because I think it definitely was needed. It had been brewing for a long time, and there are lots of people who are trapped in their homes because of very punitive ground rents, leasehold acts, not being able to renew a lease, etc. So good news on that. One other way the general election might affect the property market, though, is to do with the super prime market in central London. Now, basically, the reason why that market might get affected is you've been able to have non-domiciled people, so people who aren't British on their passport but live in the UK and not have to pay tax on their worldwide income and assets. So not a full tax haven, because they have to pay UK treatment, but not having to pay on their worldwide assets. They have to just pay on what they develop in this country. So that really affects the super prime market in London, because as you can imagine, a lot of very wealthy people want to come to the capital and take advantage of that particular regime. And so that super prime market, sort of 20 million-ish plus property prices, probably will be affected. A couple of research economists have come out and predicted that that particular market will fall by 1% over the next year as people feel uncertainty over what will happen. Chancellor Jeremy Hunt had said that he was thinking of looking at it and giving people basically 4 years. And if you've lived here for 4 years or more, then really the UK is going to tax you on your worldwide income and assets. He was then sort of saying he might relax that. Well, Labour have said very definitely they will be looking at that. They will be tightening that up. And so that is why forecasting a bit of a drop at the moment on that superprime market. Obviously will depend what will happen. That'll be one sector of the market that I think will hold its breath to wait to see what happens in this general election. Let's wait and see. Well, I thought I'd end with just a little bit of a light-hearted thing. I don't know about you, I've got a 16-year-old daughter who just loves Bridgerton. She loves the outfits. And Rightmove have got a really fun article on their blog website all about homes that would currently be perfectly setting for a scene of Bridgerton and where the various characters might like to live. Now, a lot of you will know I can admire the beauty of a period home, but I like to live in an ultra-modern home. But some of these are absolutely gorgeous. Probably my favourite one I liked was a beautiful property in Cheshire that they felt would be perfect for Anthony Bridgerton. It's a grade 2 listed sort of mock Tudor style property. I think there's a typo on the listing because it says it's got 57,000 square feet of accommodation. Now, it has got a big house and quite a few cottages, but that seems huge to me. 10 acres, and I just love a bit of open plan kitchen. So that one probably for me. But yeah, do check that out if you want a bit of light relief from everything going on in the economy and the political environment at the moment. It's half-term week, of course. Do check out the fabulous My Tunbridge Wells. They've got a great roundup of what's going on. I had a quick read of it before I came on here, and I've got a few ideas that I'm going to be carrying forward for my youngest. So do look at that. I hope you have a great week, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.